Alright, let's see if I can make this kind of short and sweet. Testing some more changes. Mana was the biggest issue, so running out of mana almost immediately because of all the cast on Comet and Eye crits on bosses. So I believe that is what was completely draining my mana. Mobbing and breaching seems to not really be an issue. You know, we have the refund or recover percent mana on kill, so that really helps, as well as just the little breaks between moving through patches, or the little windows of flicker that last for 5 to 10 seconds sometimes. So all that was never really an issue. With my almost six attacks per second, running out of the mana isn't really that big of an issue, and if you just stop for a second, like, it all comes back with my new changes. So yeah, I believe it's the cast-ons just spamming so much, like hundreds, if not thousands, when I'm actually fighting a boss due to cast-on crit. So that was the biggest issue. So I swapped to a decently big dexterity and all attribute, and whatever else I could basically find, just that I had laying around. Amulet. So Aspiring Genius gives me 20% increased mana regeneration rate, and it is just 20% increase. We thought it was more, which is, wait, Arcanes. Oh, does it have 20% mana regeneration rate built in? So 20% mana regeneration rate built in, and then 20% more. Okay, so here's where it is. So it has 20% base increased, and then 20% more for Arcane Surge. 10% chance when you deal a critical hit. So this is up. Not 100%, but I don't know. I want to say like 60 to 75% of the time. So this really helps. This really, really, really helps. I have one node here for Wellspring, and that is just accessible with this Controlled Metamorphosis Diamond. Just more mana recovery from flasks, combined with the 28% increased mana recovery from flasks from my belt. It seems to help pretty decently. I'll see if I can find a boss real quick. I have pretty much all the reduced mana costs that you can possibly have within reason near here. So reduced cost here, more mana regen, reduced cost of skills, attack speed, reduced cost of mana when not low, so when I'm above 40 or 35%, that really helps. I probably want to swap some of my jewels to have some more mana regen if I can, but I'm sitting at about 171 per second, and then when Aspiring Genius, the Arcane Surge procs, it's like 210 or something like that. So it is pretty close to being better, but I've been trying to kind of tweak out how these cast-on crits can sustain my mana a little better. I have the Mana Leech on Tempest Spell. I had it on here, but it didn't really seem like it was too much sustain to notice. So like I didn't really notice a difference, but I was running a 3-man absolute juiced maps last night, so I did change things around a little bit. But the latest changes, I swapped this ring out, so I have a big mana regeneration rate on this. I have my chaos resistance that I just need to hit my cap. Raw mana, and I have 1300 base mana, and I dropped Wind Dancer because it was the only thing I could drop, and my dual heralds are still on, and then I swapped in Cast on Critical for both of these because it generates by far the most energy. It could be generating too much, honestly. I could do Cast on Freeze for the Eye of Winter because the Eye of Winter is less important, I believe. I mean, I don't know that Comet really does that much. It seems that Eye of Winter, when it chains with the bell to the bosses, if you hit the bell first, does the most amount of damage. Like, I think something is probably broken with this interaction in conjunction with Tempest Bell, and then in conjunction with possibly the game thinking that the hits from Tempest Bell are an enemy that's full of life. I'm not quite certain on that. It's just some stuff that I've heard from other creators and other testing that something might be kind of weird with a bell. So that might not be intended, but let me showcase some of these changes. The dual cast on crit is great, but I'm still using exactly all the mana I have. And the only reason I can really run this, and I wouldn't drop like Herald of Thunder or Herald of Ice for Wind Dancer again, is because I have the like 16% reduced reservation for these two, so they're both 24 each when I activate them. So that's the only reason these two are still on. I would, if I had I don't know, 6 more spirit from this, I would swap one of the heralds for evasion, Wind Dancer. But to get any more evasion out of this chest is going to be like 40, 60, 70 div to get anything that would help. So kind of in a spot where I'm restricted. Again, I could swap out this guy for Cast on Freeze, but I need to play around with a few more things. So that's the main changes. As for passives, I did take off this because I believe this only gives mana for invoking the triggered skills, which is, you know, elemental invocation or whatever is classified as an actual invoke where you actually press the button. And then I put a little bit here for some more dex and spell damage, and I took off some more base damage from here. I put this guy there, and I put this enhanced reflexes back because the 8% dex is big. 30% increased invasion is also good without the Wind Dancer, so I'm still sitting at 81% evasion. It's not like 90+% with Wind Dancer, which is just not preferable, but this is how we have to have this kind of worked in. So big dexterity, big intelligence. I could maybe swap some of my travel notes for more intelligence so I have more base mana, but the dexterity is good for the attack speed, though I think that it needs to be in intervals of 25 or 15 to hit some breakpoints for my attack speed, so I don't know that I need exactly as much as I have. So if I'm at 15 or 25, so let's do this. So if I do one, okay, so I'll leave it here so that, you know, it's divisible by 25 at least, so I hit the 3% attack speed from these gloves. And let's just showcase really quick. Hopefully I can find a boss, and hopefully I can find something worth running really quickly. Give me a breach and a boss. Alright, let's see. There's a tower. Breach and boss, not Veil Factory, not Sun Temple. That would be good, but I need to save time. Alright, this is good in its backwash. Alright, so let's do this. We'll run a medium juiced, 25% quantity, nothing too crazy. Gold, rarity, quantity. So 72% more life, more rare, more quantity. This is fine. So mobbing, it's gonna be pretty seamless as usual. The main thing to see is gonna be the bossing. So let me make my way towards him where I can. And my game is gonna barely keep up. All right, so there's a lot of triggers for these spells. So like that's awesome. My mana's fine here when I'm taking a little bit of breaks between the packs, and also getting mana back from the kills. So that is no issue. Just the bossing is an issue. I do enjoy all of these triggers. So like it's great. I don't know that that Comet is really doing all that much with how much health these things have, and then how much raw damage is being done with the Ice Strike and Heralds. But it does seem to help. I don't know that without buffing spell damage, like with a decent amount of investment is really going to make all these Comets do that much, and then not being able to put that much in for support gems also is a factor. But yeah, I think it does a decent amount. Yeah, see, I mean, they don't hit like super hard, but I mean, there's so many of them that it all adds up. And I think they do something like oh, what do they do? Maybe like 5,000 damage each. All right, so something is making my hits not hit as well. So I think it's just the line of sight for these dumb maps that have all these trees and unwalkable spots. But yeah, the mobbing is still good. Oh my god, I fucking hate this. Alright. So this is less smooth because this map is absolute garbage. And I have no idea why anyone would make a map with all these things that just ruin the gameplay. But yeah, let's see. So not bad. They do have this. I mean, they have a lot of res, but all my crits ignore the res, and then they have almost double life, and then 37% of their life is shields. I mean, they are kind of juiced up, but it's no big deal. Yeah, so they have 108% more life, which is, you know, a decent amount for 15. And then so mana's not an issue at all. Mobbing. Some more raw damage might be fine. Maybe I don't need Comet at all. I really don't know. I gotta figure it out. There's no great way that I can just test like just the pure damage of Comet without actually just looking in here. And you know, 3,000 each. I mean, it's a significant amount. That's probably as much as my Charged Staff buffs. Wait, oh shoot. So my Charged Staff isn't working, so that's a big thing. Because I messed up my strength. Let me fix that real quick. Even though the raw damage of Charged Staff is low, it helps a ton with the amount of crits. And it helps a ton with shocking. And so shocking inherently has the 20 extra damage. So that could be why something was not working. And that's totally my bad. Alright, so before we get to the boss. Okay, so yeah, that's smoother already. The amount of crits from Lightning Staff helps so much. It's crazy. Let's find the boss. Where is it going to be? Up here? These maps that have all these unmarkable spots and trees seem to really just completely jack up the fluidity of this build. Not only is it just annoying to move through, but charge staff projectiles don't seem to hit. Jumping from strike to strike is worse. So alright, see with the charge staff, yeah, it's a lot better. Attack speed, whatever. Okay, so yeah, much more fluid. Ignore the first part of the video because I just messed it up. And where the hell is this boss gonna be? Down here? Well, this was a big waste of time. Boss should be soon. Alright, so yeah, a lot more damage. They're dying a lot quicker just with charge staff. The amount of crits really goes up. Having the people be shocked is just, on its own, always worth it. If you have more main to shock, you know, that's going to amplify it further. Alrighty. It is my primary source of shock as well, so that is helpful. Alright, so we'll get to the boss here in 1 second. Also, I wasn't able to use my charges when I didn't have my staff available, so I was missing 60% crit damage. Howdy, Mary Claire. So as you see, the mana basically drops out immediately, but we can sustain a little bit better. And, I mean, the boss dies. Was that quicker than just the eye? I don't know. I am going to do... another test. Let's see. Let me do this. Thanks for tuning in, Mary Claire. And let me dump my items. Alright, so I'm gonna see if I just do... If I... What can I swap? Let me take off this guy for now. And let me just throw on some more crit for fun and for testing. And I'm going to take Comet off and just do Eye of Winter. No Echo. Put you on here. Charge Infusion. I can also run Wind Dancer, but I have no slots. No big deal. What else do I want for Eye? Let's do Seal or more damage. Seal, more damage. Let's do this. Okay, let's test this out. No Comet. We'll find another boss. We'll try and run it the same. Why is this not available? Did I not finish the map? Oh, of course. Alright, let's finish the map. How did I miss this guy? Ridiculous. Alright, so only one cast on crit, reduced mana, more energy, chance to refund with, let's see, so I double it, so two energy base gained from these hits, chance to refund. Is it any better so far? Definitely not. I need to find a boss and see about that specifically. Okay, so this is a nice big one. Do I have something kind of similar that I can compare to? Let's see if I can make something real quick. Take you. I don't know if I'm going to be able to just get one quick that's going to have 100% extra monster life, but I will juice up whatever I can here to try to be somewhat similar to the last run. So that's Geese, ailment. I do not want that. Let's corrupt this. Let's corrupt this. Let's corrupt this. And this. Alright, that's garbage. Corrupt. None of these are exactly comparable, but let's just roll one. So this, I mean, they're just gonna do a lot more damage to me. That's gonna be evasive. This, I need need to see if I can just find one that's kind of similar. So they're juiced up health, juiced up shield. Of course, I can't find one when I want one, and I run into them all the time when I don't want them. That's crazy. I truly can't find one. What the fuck? Pack size rarity. More monster life. Alright, here, I'll just use this one. It's gonna be the closest. I have less healing and recovery. They have an additional modifier. Chilled ground. And I won't corrupt it. Alright, we'll use this one. It'll boost their HP by 70%. I recover less. Let's try it out. I expect this to be slower. If there is no comets in my cast on crit, obviously it's not going to be as fast, but I mostly want to test the boss and the interaction that specifically how much affects the boss is doing the bell, hitting this, and is it constant crits, is it more damage, which it seems like it. Seems like just the chaining between the bell and the boss is a big deal. So clearing is still completely fine. It's not much different. I don't usually notice too much of a difference. This map I'm going to have less recovery, so my mana might be a little more of an issue, but it shouldn't be too much. I have power infusion on for this little test run, so I'll have a bit more crit, though I really don't need it. But so it's going to sit around 46, 45, somewhere around there when it consumes its power charges. 18% more crit chance. And Delirium is not fun either. I hate Delirium. I don't even run it half the time. I don't know why this timer is going down when I'm killing things. I don't know. Whatever, it gave me some emotions, that's cool. Alright, let's run this breach and then get to the boss. So still plenty of eye triggers, eye of winter triggers. Whenever I'm in a pinch, I either just flicker or do my bell and let the bell do the work. It also gives me the font of mana, so that's super nice. If I ever want to sort of anchor myself for my flickers, if they're being unpredictable, I can always do my bell and then try and flicker to it and just let Jesus take the wheel, and hopefully maybe I go back there, stay around my bell. But it does only last for so many hits, so it's not always that useful. Alright, so all drops are corrupted. I feel like this shrine should be good in theory, but it never actually is. If you get something actually good, then it's bricked right away. And expeditions are so slow and I hate them, so I do enjoy the currency a lot, but I usually end up juicing them too much and they like one-shot me out of nowhere. But let me do it since I'm here. So, leech, attack speed, totally fine. They're immune to physical. I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know if I care. I don't really care. Let's just do everything. Penetrate cold, whatever. Immune to cold, that's gonna be bad, so let's not do that. And I'm already so sick of this. Let me just detonate. Kill these guys before they can kill me. The entire point of the game. That guy with the big stabby sword, if you're not careful, just one-shot you. And let me grab my artifacts for gambling. Not that rewarding. I also have never found a Olroth expedition boss, so I don't do them that often, so that's probably why I just focus on breaches mostly. But maybe after tonight's update, some of this stuff could be better. I do know that it was primarily with rituals, but we will see. Alright, let's get to this boss and see. Oh, great. Alright, so let me get my bell down and let's hit the bell. And so damage is obviously slower. Don't love that. Let me just make sure I don't get tapped here. The damage is slower. I was on the chilled ground though. I think, yeah, that's probably mostly what it was. So the Eye of Winter, my hits, like, I think they do a majority of the damage. Definitely slower without Comet. The Eye of Winter inherently buffs the crit chance, which is super nice. So, yeah, I think I'm gonna go back to the dual cast on crit and just figure out some more of the mana issues. But yeah, thanks. And I am gonna take off and be back later.